Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Still Only 35 Cents. This is the Merry Monday Mailcall Show. It's good to have you with us. Got a few things today. I have a special guest waiting in the wings. I shall bring him on just in 1 second. Just wanted to say hello to everyone. I hope you caught the video yesterday. A lot of great comments from you all on my failed CGC submission. Where I had a big mistake. If you haven't already seen it, go and check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. Without further ado, I shall bring on my colleague for today's show. And it is Neville Grey Hunter Howard. How are you, my friend?
Oh, good morning, man. What ungodly hour do you run live streams on?
Well,
I got a coffee, so I'm okay.
I'm the same. I always do it. It's a coffee tradition now. I've been going. I think this is issue 13. I think now.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw on your live stream that it's like the 13th installment, man. And you pre-planned them too. You've got the ones set ready to go for June and July.
June and July. Oh, don't give anything away just yet.
Oh no, I'm not saying anything. I just saw the placeholders. That's all.
Very good. Yeah, no. Well, it's great to have you with you. How was your weekend? Was it good?
Yeah, man. Good. I'm still moving into a new house, so I'm not quite in my comic room at the moment. I'm in my work office, my day job office. But yeah, it's getting there. Unpacking, finding spots for everything, figuring out where to put my slabs and where to put my toys, and you realize how much shit you have when you move out. That's for sure.
I'll tell you what. I've been seeing your Instagram page now. If you haven't already, everyone go and check out Neville's. You should give a shout out for. It's a long title, but it's pretty. Is it in your tag? I can't see very clearly. They can find you on Instagram anyway. At the very least, you have a YouTube channel, and you also run the Facebook group here in Australia as well.
Breaking up a bit.
Very busy man. You're a very busy man. I was saying.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm back. Yeah, look, it is. I took some time off work to do the packing and unpacking, but it's like months worth of work, man. I don't think I'll do that again.
Well, the comic room looks great from what I've seen so far.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things where you set up everything for the first time, and then you walk through it 10 times and realize that you want to move things around, and it's one of those domino effects, right? You move one thing to move another thing to move another thing, and all of a sudden you got new shelves and new. But no, it's a good exercise, but not something I want to do every year. That's for sure.
No. Having done it myself recently as well. There's something I'm going to be showing today, which is not a mail call for this week, but I'm treating it as such because I found them after being in the storage unit for probably about a year or so, and I just could not find them. I thought I brought them in, but clearly not. So, yeah,
that'd be good. Yeah. But every time I see your live streams, you had more stuff in the background. Your setup grows.
It is growing. It is growing. I'm going to change it around. I got this week. You would have seen this on Insta.
I did the Jade. Yes, that's really good.
That was fantastic. I was really happy. And it's really good quality as well. Like it's full metal, and it's got this nice backing.
So too. Yeah, you can beat somebody with that. That blue light poster is amazing too, eh?
Anyone who's a Judge Dredd fan should go out and get one of those. They're fantastic.
Nice.
So yeah, I thought today I'm going to go through a few books anyway that this is the usual way that we'll run the show, go through books that have come in this week, talk about some of the news, etc. Occasional guests like yourself, which is always great to have. And then we've got a little bit of a theme later, which links to an announcement, and we'll sort of come to that pretty soon. We're going to do a giveaway as well today, which is something I haven't done, a live giveaway. So anyone who's watching the stream, we're going to be putting the usual StreamYards giveaway hashtag on the screen, which is linked to the announcement. And there'll be some goodies for those of you who join us on the stream. As always, if you can leave comments along the side, we're happy to sort of talk through anything you want to put in there as well. And then post the live obviously will be on. I think it's stored on Facebook and it's on YouTube as well. So we'll go through it. So maybe I'll kick off for this week in terms of some of the pickups that I did get. Now I normally switch to the big overhead view, but I don't think we'll do that for this one. I think we'll just show books upright because you're going to be doing the same anyway from your side.
I've tried a few.
The first one that I've got is a bit obscure for most of probably those in Australia, but hopefully not. Is this collection of Love and Rockets that I managed to pick up, really high grade, got them in a lot from eBay. Now I'm trying to complete the Love and Rockets run at the moment. I've got most of the early issues up to about 40, but there's a few gaps, and these are the gaps that I've got. So managed to pick up, this is issue 27, and then issue 26. Have you read this, Neville?
No. I've had some of them, but never enough to actually read in sequence either.
I'm toying with just getting the trade, so I don't have to do anything. But these, as you can see here, they're really good condition, and they've been stored properly in magazine. They're magazine size, so they're not your usual comic book size. That's issue 25.
I think Murray Baker bought all mine. The ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll save this one to last because this one's probably the big one that I was super happy to find in this batch. Issue 23, and if you've noticed the gap between 23, 25, and 23. You'll know which issue I'm talking about. So that's issue 23. And issue 22. As I say, I've got most of the issues, I think, running up to these.
It's great covers, eh?
They're fantastic covers. I think, and this is the thing that I've really got into. There's just every single one is a work of art. And I was in Minotaur Comics this week as well. And they had the latest, I don't know what, I think it must be volume 2, but they've got a new ongoing. And again, the covers are just fantastic. So, and then I think this is the last one other than the big one. This is issue 20. Again, another great cover with all the cast of characters on the front. And I think for the most part, they always continue onto the back covers as well. But the one that I was really happy to get, which apparently is ridiculously hard to get in high grade because of that black cover, is issue 24. It's like an iconic cover. I just want to try and get it in the light so it's actually better for you. But
that looks good. Yeah,
it's beautiful. So that one will be, I'll probably take that one to Heroes Con because I'm going to Heroes Con next month and get that one graded. I think given, I mean, they 8.5s I think were on sale for something like, someone was trying to get $600 for it or something.
Wow,
ridiculous. So it's super tough to find in high grade. So
but the series in general's got a cult following, right? So even raw, even mid grade, people just want to be able to complete their runs. So having something like that is high grade, especially those dark covers, are really, really good.
So I got onto these by John and Richard at Bronze and Modern Gods. They are huge Love and Rockets fans and just talk about it all the time. Richard, in fact, actually has, I think he's got a T-shirt with this on it, right? So it's just the dynamic art. I mean, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's that really deep red and black.
Yeah.
But it's that concert and they're just playing, but it's just the crowd and everything about it is just a wonderful cover. So very happy to get that. And it wasn't that expensive either, which is one of those. If you try and buy that individually, it's expensive. But it was sitting in this lot, and I just managed to go, oh, there's a 24 in there. I think I'll grab that. So, did you have anything this week to quickly show? Or
oh, look, I didn't really get anything in the past week as per se, but I did get probably 4 mail calls from CGC in the past 6 or 7 weeks. That I didn't really get to enjoy too much purely because of the fact that I was moving. I had a few rush posts onto Instagram, but I didn't really do much of a show and tell about them. So I brought some of them to Zemworth, but they are all to a particular theme.
All right, we'll leave it. I've got a few more.
So I'll leave them. I'll leave them. I just got to go back to your live stream from yesterday with the 2000 ADs. How disappointing is it that they couldn't get those graded for you, man? That is a pity, eh?
It's a shame.
Those ones over 100, because they're marginally bigger, but they're not that much bigger.
Well, I actually went down and I actually went through the books and did a measurement of them.
Yeah.
And
did you?
They are probably about a centimeter bigger. And actually, if you look at, I can give you a sense of one of the books.
Because I saw the early ones you showed that got graded, right? They are edge to edge in that slab.
They're ridiculous. Like, I don't know if you can get a sense of it, but look at
there's no room to move there. Eh?
Yeah, and the other ones are probably about a centimeter or half an inch bigger than those.
And considering they now do concert and movie posters and stuff too. I'm sure down the track you'll get them done, right? Because
Oh,
there were
I
some
hope
big
so.
keys that you had, right? The
I hope
Judge
so.
Death. There's some really good books. So
yeah, it's the bane of 2000 AD collectors. Traditionally, they weren't even graded.
they don't fit in anything. Mine's in tubs.
Yeah,
I don't know how to store them.
Well, on that one, look, we've just got someone in the chat room. Someone some very dear friends actually. So it's Bronze and Modern Gods. I'm assuming John or Richard
Love and Rockets
in the stream. Love and Rockets. There you go. So there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's good to have you on board. Hope you enjoy the show and the announcement. I think you'll be particularly pleased with the announcement. You too. So maybe I'll keep going. In terms of this, there's not too many here, so I think we'll then try and get to that announcement, and everyone will we can tell everyone what we're up to. So this is a low grade eerie magazine again. So I've gone into the Eries as well, Eries and creepy.
It's magazine. It's a big hole, man. As soon as you get one or two of them, and you appreciate the covers and the artwork and the flick through them, they've got a different different feel to them. They smell amazing. I tell you, every time I buy it, Eerie or Vampirella, I'm like, I should be buying all of these. That is an amazing cover. Who's the artist?
Let me just check. It's and here's the thing about what I didn't realize about Vampirella. She started off as just another crypt keeper, like.
I just grew in popularity. That's all.
Yeah, the cover artist on this one is Joe Orlando. As I say, it's not these. You very rarely find these in good condition. So it's not ideal. Nice. I might shift the view so we get a bit bigger for both of us. Actually, let me just check how I can do this. How does this work? Is that better? I want to do a show and tell like Richard does on his.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's it. You now featured.
Does that work?
Yep.
Are we? If I turn this one off, how many screens have we got on?
I can see you focus now, so you're bigger, which is great because you're doing the show and tell, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to just move this tab for just 1 second. Give me a sec, and then we'll get it set up on the show and tell screen because I think that's a better view for everyone involved. This is the problem with with the screens that I've got is you can't see. That should be it. Let's have a look, see if that works. Oh, that's much better. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. I can close that down now and I can see you more clearly.
You can see my sleepy wrinkles now.
Don't worry about that. I think we've all got those. But yeah, as you say, the artwork on these are just absolutely phenomenal. Black and white, and because they were magazines, they weren't subject to the comic code. So I think Bronze Age collectors
got away with a lot more.
Yeah, I think there'll be hopefully, well, not hopefully, because I want to try and hoover them up before everyone gets too excited. But yeah, now I've lost your screen completely. Well, at least you can still see me. And then whilst we're on the subject of 2000 AD, I've got two that came in. I've got an issue 4 very early. 2000 AD. I think this is the third. Yeah, this is the third appearance of Judge Dredd. And then I've got another number 3. These are both beautiful condition. So I'll be resubmitting these, and these ones will get graded, and I will include the free gifts. So won't make the same mistake that I made in that video that we just talked about. But again, I'm just absolutely.
How many doubles do you have of the first 4 or 5 issues? You must have a couple, because I remember when I visited you, you had 3 or 4 ready to go, and you were picking which ones you wanted to submit.
Yeah, there's a story behind that.
You were a hoarder.
I've got about 4 different copies. I did a trade with Ricky at All Sorts of Words for a House of Secrets, actually. House of Secrets. House of Secrets 92. So we traded that and a few of the books that he threw in as well for the whole. I think almost the full 300 run. 1 to 300, which is where I'm really focused. And ironically, there was an eBay auction this weekend, and I picked up the whole lot from one eBay seller, 1 through to 200, all apparently near mint. So wait for those to arrive and reconsolidate, and then see what I'll be doing with these other 2000 ADs that I've got. To your point, hoarding, right?
I mean, we all have our vices. That's fine.
Yeah. Another one that I picked up, which I got from this is ironic. I got this from a UK auction. I've got this already, but I haven't got it graded, and I was toying with getting it graded. But then when I saw this 9.4, now the thing that's funny about this, it was £50 in the auction, so £100. So I'm for a Tomb of Dracula with Silver Surfer appearance, I'm blown away by that. I was like, I had to just snap that up. So I still think, again, I'm getting into my Bronze Age horror really big, and not a lot of people are buying these up, but these Tombs of Draculas are just fantastic, especially if you can get them, as I say, at 9.4. But it's an old label, so I'm contemplating whether or not I crack that and give it a go and see if I can actually press it a bit more.
Yeah, that's at least 8 or 10 years old from that label.
Yeah. The only issue that I can see is this here. I don't know if you can get a glimpse of that.
Yeah. Oh, that's
got the overspray.
Yeah.
And at the top, you can see it's red. So it's obviously one of those that
they won't. I mean, by the fact that it's a 9.4 already, you understand that. I don't see that as a defect. It's aesthetics, but it's not a defect.
Yeah. We have someone else in the house. So we have Amateur Hour. I'm sure I'm saying that right. Good morning. How are you? Good to see you. So that's another one that came in, and then two more, and then we can go to the announcement, I think, and the giveaway. Then I've got this. I'm collecting Crisis on Infinite Earths run, and
what an amazing run, man.
Yeah.
It's probably the comics I found on spinner racks when I started collecting, and they were kind of the 6 month to 1 year old back issues, and you never really got the whole series on the spinner racks because most people would have bought the big issues by then already. So you were continuously chasing some of the gaps, the big ones, Death of Supergirl and so forth. But man, that it's an amazing run, and
it's a great
amazing creators. 9.6, great Bronze Age grade, eh?
And I'm again, it's one of those where I was a bit late to the party. I've got a couple of books signed by George Perez. Yeah. But I was, when he was doing that signing before he passed, that last signing where he was due to sign and then unfortunately passed away. Yeah. I had a few books that I was going to submit, and I wasn't really that deep into the sort of DC stuff at that point.
Yeah.
So it's a real shame that happened.
And again, what a credit, and everybody saw it coming because obviously his health was in decline and stuff, and the fact that despite his challenges, he was still making the most of it, saying, I want to meet the fans, I want to catch up with people, I want to do the signature events. It's part of his legacy. It's just he was a great character. I had a whole bunch of books, so obviously for Grail Hunters, I think we submitted 30 something to CGC for that event. And unfortunately, he passed before the books were even signed. So through Reach Hen and through CGC, some of them just got redirected to Marv Wolfman and a few other creators. But I would say there were easily probably 10 or 12 Crisis of Infinite Earths books in there, because it's just one of the most iconic runs that he worked on, right?
Exactly. I like his Man-Wolf. I mean, I think I was first exposed to him through obviously Avengers, when his work on Avengers when he was on that, and then I think the Man-Wolf story that he did in Marvel Premiere. I think it was it Marvel Premiere? I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah,
the late 50s issues.
Yeah. So I got into his work there and didn't realize who he was, but just always amazed at just how great that artwork was. And then obviously fully exposed during Infinity Gauntlet when he took that on. But again, that was an interesting one, right, where he sort of started that and then couldn't keep up, and then I think was it Ron Lim that took over?
Yes, correct.
So yeah. And then last one, which will lead in nicely to our announcement, which I did show off in the video that I posted yesterday, but I thought you'd appreciate this one because I've seen you post this book. It's the Star Wars.
Star Wars Weekly #1. Again, underrated, man. So many people, I think, pass over it, not knowing, the significance of that from a UK perspective. What a great book.
Really.
Mine's definitely not a 9.2. That's a good grade for essentially 80 grams paper. words, newspaper print on the inside, black cover, 9.2. That's amazing.
It's a hard one to get graded, and with I got the free gift in this one. Again, this is another one of those where, to your point, where I just keep buying them up, and then if as soon as I find a decent one, this was the best one I've ever found. I think I'm gonna just take this and try and go for a 9.8 because
man, that's beautiful. I'd be more than happy with that.
Yeah, it's really
good grade.
Really good.
Yeah,
cool. All right. Well, maybe with that,
do you have most of that series, by the way?
So I did when I was a kid, and then I got rid of it. I literally only got a handful, and it's a fascinating story that the Star Wars Weekly had a really good, interesting set of backup strips. One of those was Adam Warlock's the Jim Starlin run, and that's how I got exposed to that whole storyline and how I got into Adam Warlock and Jim Starlin. So yeah, it has a special place in my heart. The thing that I do like as well is that you get these absolutely unique covers on those Star Wars Weeklies because they had to fill in they had fill in art because it was weekly as opposed to monthly. And so you'd have these extra covers, and some of those extra covers are absolutely stunning. But they were all done in the US, which is something I didn't realize until I had the interview with Alan Murray, the art director from Marvel UK, and he was like, "Look, everything that you've seen, anything predominantly artwork, any sort of new artwork, was drawn and created under guidance in the New York office and then sent to the UK."
Yeah.
So not a lot of people actually know that that's how it was structured. So
that's
it's
interesting.
A fascinating work stream, the way that Marvel. I mean, we're talking about foreign books, but it's a fascinating work stream because out of all of them, the others were mostly sort of just reprints, whereas those did have a little bit of extra content that was created specifically for the UK books. So
yeah. That's interesting. I've got some of the older, the Super Spider-Man run that used to be landscape.
Yeah.
And same with them, man. Some of those covers, it's like obviously because of the fact that they were coming out more regularly and they ran out of US covers. That's it. Yeah. They had to improvise and they used combinations of interior panels and stuff. It's just amazing. The story and the background behind them is just so cool. I've got a whole bunch of them, and the posters inside of them, because of the fact that they're so elongated, they're just so much more impactful. Right.
Those posters,
really, really impactful posters.
Again, when I was talking to Alan, and we've got one here to show, right?
Oh, that's it. Look at that, man.
What? Yeah. When I was talking to Alan, he was saying that again, these were just created specifically for Marvel UK.
Yeah.
By the US bullpen.
I've got a whole bunch of them with the John Romita posters, and then it's just it's unparalleled. You don't get that in America, and most of the US collectors wouldn't even know about it.
Yeah, sure. Let me take this off I'm going to just close this one, and I will close this one because we don't need this one anymore. Then I can see you. And then what I'm going to add to the stage, I'm going to share my screen. Let's find the thing that we need. Is it this one? Yes. So, special announcement for everyone. Now, some of you know I'm going to HeroesCon next week, and there's a certain couple of gentlemen in the chat room, John and Richard from Bronze and Modern Gods, who are also going to this place. But I'm very proud to let you all know that we will be going to San Diego Comic-Con this year, and we'll both be presenting a panel on foreign comics. So maybe I'll hand over to you, Neville, to sort of give a bit more background, because you've done it before. This will be my first time at San Diego Comic-Con.
No, look, it is an amazing event, and it's such a diverse event, right? I think it would be 10 or 11 years now that I've been going, and I've gotten to know obviously the program people who do the panels and host the programs and stuff over the years, and I think they really appreciate. Let's call it a different flavor, international, the international market coming into San Diego Comic-Con and bringing something different. Because if you go to those those events. I don't know how big EuroCon is, but San Diego Comic Con, they would bring 100,000 people over 3 or 4 days, right? And the party spills over into the streets and out of the actual convention center into marquees and the hotels around it and stuff. It's just such a great vibe, and always sunny, obviously, because it's California. So, I've learned over the past few years, and I'm really impressed by it, that there are so many people who want to know more about foreign comics, want to know more about Australian comics. What do we do on this side of the world? How do we collect? All that type of questions often get asked. So I thought this year would be a great opportunity to, with CGC's announcement that they now obviously grade and endorse foreign prints as first appearances because of the idiosyncrasies of and the changes in the books being different to the American counterparts. These books obviously became a lot more significant from a collector's perspective, especially for those who hadn't explored it previously. So I thought, a great idea for us to go back there and take that message around what do our comics look like? What's the story behind them? What's the history of the publications? In many of the cases, as you may appreciate, like even in Australia, there was a very much a bootleg nature to the international prints, even those who came months after the American counterparts. So I think I'm pretty excited to take this there and tell the story and the background of how that was formed from an Australian perspective, but also from your perspective, looking at the UK prints and the history from a UK perspective, because you've got such a good knowledge of that, and being able to tell the story from different continents back into the US would be great. Also, I just realized
I agree. I can't wait.
Areas on this one still.
Again, for anyone who hasn't already seen Neville's Instagram feed and the Facebook group, like, it is literally beautiful. Some of these books from Australia are just fantastic. The covers are great, and again, all the extras that you get. They didn't get sort of unique artwork, I don't think, Neville, but they very much repurposed it beautifully, right?
A bit of both, right? So there's the earlier ones, especially Horwitz, because of the fact that at that point in time there was an understanding that all comics had to have local content. So the Horwitz publications from the 60s, which was reprinting Avengers 1 and Daredevil 1, actually had local covers drawn on, right? So it was local creators and artists, and I'll show that off a little bit later, doing covers of Avengers 1 with the same content as the American comics. So we are one of the few countries in the world who didn't just do a cut and paste reprint of the American Silver Age keys. Do you know what I mean? So it's a significant point of difference in that. But then essentially, if you look at the later ones, so you had the Horwitz in the 60s, and then in the 70s, Yaffa and Newton Comics came around for Australia. And I think they were limited in their color palettes. So everything was a lot more focused on primary colors, a lot more in your face. The colors were just really crisp and bright, despite the fact that the paper quality wasn't as amazing. The covers were absolutely great. But they also always, same as with the UK ones, man, they came with free posters and stickers and cards and iron-ons for T-shirts and stuff. And obviously back then, kids would have lapped it up, right? You go and buy a 25-cent comic and there's a image that you can iron onto a T-shirt. Obviously, you're going to rip it off and pop it on a T-shirt, or if it's got a Spider-Man poster on the inside, obviously you're going to pull the Spider-Man poster out and stick it on your wall. So essentially, as a result of that, poor paper quality and all the freebies resulted in many of those copies going to waste over time, or just purely being incomplete. So most of them would get a 0.5 grade. So getting something that's even mid-grade at the moment that's fully complete, especially the keys, are really, really hard to find these days. And over the past 10 years, I've really noticed that the market's dried up significantly with them because of that point of difference. Foreign collectors are buying through Australian groups on Facebook and Instagram, collecting their own copies for their collection, because they collect the sets, right? They collect one from every country, and they'd love to be able to have those because it's such a significant point of difference. So I'll show some of them later. But I think from a panel perspective, hosting that at San Diego Comic Con and taking that story to American collectors and exposing them to more knowledge around foreign collecting is really the goal with this, right? We're going to go have fun. It's going to be an amazing 4 or 5 day event with preview night, get to meet the creators and fellow panelists and everything else. But at the same time, I'm as excited about being able to tell that story and show off some of the comics that we have here that in general we assume people, all collectors know about, but they don't. So yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's funny. Most US collectors don't even know about the UK ones, right? And they were they're readily available. It's but yeah, I think I've been learning from you in terms of all the Australian stuff, and even started to dip my toe in, which I'm always a bit nervous about. I bought a couple recently, but you're right, you can't find these. They're so thin on the ground. And when you do, they're not in that great shape, to your point.
Yeah. And it's because they were well loved, right? So many people, I remember when I was chasing them down 10, 15 years ago, people were like, oh, we used to use them to hold our tables up because they were considered cheap reprints. And I think because of that, the survival rate's probably less than 10% because the return copies got destroyed and everything else were seen as just pure reprints. And I think the legitimacy that CGC and CBCS brought to the market by recognizing them as significant books in the market really brought that appeal, because I think that in itself is a good way to educate collectors in general around the significance and the points of difference and the appeal of it as a result.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it myself. I just can't wait. It's going to be a great panel. We don't have any details as yet in terms of timings, etc. But if you're at San Diego Comic-Con, we'd love for you to join us. And obviously, if you're in San Diego Comic-Con anyway, we're going to try and catch up with as many of you as we can. So if you see us, give us a nudge. As I mentioned as well, I'll be at Heroes Con in June. So I'll be wearing this. The new still only 35 cents t-shirt. I've been on a merch blitz recently. So if you get anything from me, or like this giveaway we're about to give away, you'll get a still only 35 cents sticker too. And I even got one of these embossing stamps. These are fantastic, Neville. If you ever get one of these for a Greyhound logo, they're just
they're good.
That. So yeah, really happy with that. So digging deep in terms of the printing and stuff. So just quickly, we'll do a bit of a giveaway. We've got 5 people, I think, in the room at the moment. We had Jason join us whilst we were talking about the panel.
No doubt on commute somewhere into the office on a Monday morning.
Yeah, and then we had Amateur Hour showing Newton Is My Jam, which I think you missed when you were chatting. So just thought I'd bring that up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're good books, man.
Did you want to show a few of those books first before we do the giveaway?
Yeah, sure, man, sure. So essentially, and again, I'm hoping I'm showing this off, and people will watch this later who hasn't seen this, because obviously they are really cool. And the added bonus about this, so this is, let me see, what's the best angle? There you go. There you go. Perfect. So this is Avengers 1, 1964. So it came out about 12 months after the American one, signed by Stan Lee, in a Halo label, in a Halo slab from Australia. These things are rock hard. You can kill a kangaroo with it. But yeah, I've seen probably 5 or 6 copies in the past 10 years of this, right? Ironically, I bought this in America from Ohio. It's just an amazing book. And as you can see, the cover's unique. It's redrawn in Australia by Morris Bramley. And yeah, it's just a beautiful book. And I would guess probably the only one in the world signed by Stan Lee. So that's the first Horwitz. The second one, which is even rarer, is Daredevil #1. So this is 1965. So again, 12 months or less after the first appearance in the US. Same cover artist, redrawn. Actually used the first page of the interiors as the cover, and just pretty much went their own way with the colors and everything else associated with it. But it's a beautiful, beautiful book. Here you go.
I moved you. Yeah, I moved you because I couldn't get on the camera. So yeah, let's try this instead. No, that's the book I was talking about. I'd shared this on some other streams in terms of talking about it. Just have that cover is just astounding. And when you showed that book, I've been looking for one myself. It's impossible.
Yeah, and so many people when I post that on Instagram or Facebook in general, people are just like, it's better than the original, the US one, because of the fact that it's got such a striking pose compared to that. And then obviously I will touch on some of the Australian gold. So this is Silver Age Australian Comics, Silver Star #1. Amazing book. So I'll touch on that as part of the extended talk. And then I'll just show one or two quickly from Newton and Jaffa perspective. So talk about the colors being different, right? Look at the reds on this. There you go. That's probably the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just beautiful, crisp. Wow. Loki's recolored. He's all purple in this one.
And that would have had the is that got the poster in it, that one? Is that
the poster one? Correct. So these wouldn't get a blue label if the posters were removed.
Yeah.
And then Jaffa went the other way with the yellows. So this is X-Men #1. Whoop. There you go. Wow.
And didn't they have transfers on the back as well? Because I've got one with a Captain America transfer on the back.
So some of the Newtons did. Not all of them did. Some of the later ones. Some are swap cards inside. But also, even when it came off the printer, not all of them had the swap cards. So not having the swap cards not considered a defect. This is Hulk #1 from Jaffa. Again, just different colors, different look and feel. And it looks like on the way to the printer, they said, "Oh, somebody, can you color this?" So it looks like it's colored with marker more than anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely got that bootleggy nature to it, but at the same time, man, it's a beautiful book, beautiful books.
That's fantastic.
Black and white inside, but the covers are always just standout amazing.
And have you ever played with one of those transfers? Like I looked at it. Did they actually work?
Oh, I've never bothered. I think whatever was on the glue back then just probably would have evaporated. I bought a lot of them back in the 80s and 90s to do on t-shirts, and they never worked. And the blacks turned yellow. The blacks turned yellow, and I think me and my mates figured out that you could draw on a piece of paper with a black pen and then iron that on, and the ink would transfer. So we used to do that. That was a fun job. So we'd do like our own Thundercats t-shirts and stuff, but it's like yellow on white. But we were very proud of it.
You're getting good comments from Amateur Hour actually in terms of the books you're showing. So that's great.
And are you going to be taking, last but not least, the Fantastic Four? Also just heavy look at the blue. So this is only a 3.5, which I was surprised at. It's purely because it's got a bit of a water stain at the back. Sorry about the glare. But it's got a bit of a water stain there. And as a result, it came back as a 3.5. But nonetheless, beautiful cover.
Yeah. As we know, they'll nail you on stains. That's the back. If there was a way to sort of get stains out safely without damaging books, then I think everyone would be doing it.
I posted a Journey into Mystery 85 that I submitted to CGC probably a month ago. And it looks like a 6, man. But same thing, it's got a water stain throughout the book that you obviously can't do much about. And it came back at 2.5 maybe. But yeah, it looks like a 6. I tell you.
Yeah.
It's funny.
What's your attitude to CGC nowadays in terms of like I'm going through a bit of a phase where unless it's super high grade and I know it's going to be super high grade, I'm actually getting to the point where I just re-crack out and I'm just going full raw on some of those books. So a book like that, would you just like cut your losses and crack it open and just enjoy it in its full entirety? What's your strategy?
Look, I'm going back to a previous comment. I'm pretty much a bit of a hoarder. Usually when I slab a comic, I've got a copy raw anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
so yeah, I'm not too fussed. Unless it's a significant comic, obviously, then I'll just slab it for preservation more than anything. Yeah, but man, I tell you, slabs are like gremlins. They just take over. It takes up so much space. I would say I've got 400 or so, and they equivalent to the volume of boxes as my comics.
Yeah. And Neville, you've been lucky enough to see mine, and it's it's just getting worse. It's ridiculous. It's like one whole side of this wall is completely done. Let's quickly do the giveaway while we got people in the chat. I'm going to show the books off, and I'll bring up the tab, and then if you're in there and leave hi Dave. This got Dave from West Coast Avengers in the house. Always good to see Dave. I still owe you a PayPal.
Hey guys,
my friend. I'm sorry. We're going to run the giveaway now. Let me just bring this up again. Apologies. I'm still. You'd think 13 shows in, I'd know how to make this stuff work, right? But no, I do not. Let's see. So share screen and giveaway tool. Now this. Does that work, everyone? Can you see that? Worlds Collide? That's the title of our panel. So if you can see that on the screen, stick the hashtag Worlds Collide in and we'll run the giveaway. Just to give you a sense of what we're going to be having, it's a whole bunch of Marvel UK books that I've dug out that we just talked about. There's this Mighty World of Marvel 112. I don't know if you can see that. We have, and that's got the cover of Valkyrie, just about to throw Hulk off. I think it's the reprint of the first appearance of Valkyrie. We got one of those aforementioned Spider-Man, Super Spider-Man titles with the landscape.
With the poster.
Yeah, the poster's inside as well in that one. We've got a Super Spider-Man and Captain Britain when Captain Britain joined Spider-Man's title. We have couple of 1980s Captain Britain. So we got number 4. This is Alan Davis art. And we've got a number 10 Captain Britain. I think that's a reintroduction of Jamie Braddock. And then I thought, special one for everyone, issue 1 of the Titans. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't have the poster in, but it's still a great book to own. So I thought I'd throw that in for the giveaway. So if you haven't already, put Worlds Collide in the chat, and we'll run the giveaway shortly. Double check. We'll give it maybe another minute or so. But yeah, what's on for you, Nev? As of other than the panel, what have you got coming up?
Look, man, it's going to be a big 2 months leading up to that. I'm about to post an announcement on Grey Lanterns Australia on Facebook for Jamie Johnson. So you're going to hear it here first before I post it. He's doing a four issue exclusive covers for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles through IDW, and we're doing a CGC submission for all 4, where he's going to offer signatures and remarks. So that's a biggie coming up. I'm doing a private submission for Mike Chrome to CGC for signature series. And then the big one, end of June, Supernova Sydney, I'm going to be doing facilitation and signature submissions to CGC for Artgerm and a few of the creators that's going to be attending there. So I'm actually going to have a stall with Supernova where I'm going to be accepting submissions, or people can send it through to me to get it signed and graded direct. So it's not going to be quiet between now and San Diego, that's for sure. I'm going to be pretty under the pump. Going into state for the conventions and everything, but at the same time, man, it's just a ball. Love it to bits. So a big 2 months coming up. I think the Artgerm event's going to be spectacular. The Jamie Johnson 4 issues, all exclusive variants for Grey Lanterns. It's going to be amazing.
Man, that's going to be great. I actually looked at the Sydney Supernova and I was like, oh, should I go? But then my dance card's full too. So it's for me, I've obviously got Heroes Con and then getting ready for San Diego now. And then obviously me and you working together in terms of what we're going to actually be showcasing and telling everyone about and sharing. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah. No, I'm sure we'll catch up and keep going about it.
Yeah, for sure. Let's run this draw. I think everyone who's going to has put one in. So let's see who gets it. I've never done this before, so bear with us.
If I win, it's rigged.
If Dave gets it, it's rigged. Aussie comic guy. There you go.
Jeez, late to the party.
Brilliant. It was not fixed.
That's funny.
That's really good. Congratulations. Yeah, drop me a note and I will make sure we get those out to you as soon as possible. I'm just going to move this off the screen there. Yeah, but congrats. That's awesome. So, all right. Well, 45 minutes in. Been a great 45 minutes. Thanks for coming, Neville. Really appreciate it. Always good.
It's great fun. Thanks. It's a good distraction to having to start my day job now. So
yeah, I'm in the same boat. I've actually got to get on a plane, which is the funniest thing. So now, 9 o'clock I have to get an Uber.
Wow, good luck, man. Thanks everybody for joining, though. I know it was short notice. I posted the link out earlier this morning, but it's been good fun. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
thanks for
great to see you all. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you. By the way, before we go, there won't be a Monday Mail Call next week, unfortunately, but we will be picking it back up with my Heroes Con prep the following Monday. So if you don't hear from me for next week, I'll see you the week after. There will be a normal YouTube video, as always. I've got something special lined up as well then. But thanks for joining. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon. And thanks again, Neville. Always a pleasure.
Cheers, mate. Good work on YouTube. I love your shows.
Thanks, mate. Take care.
Bye.